Hello and welcome back. In this segment, we are going to talk about successful people, and some people, they're confused between success and happy, successful and happiness. Maybe we are not going in that area today, but at least we want to know what is success and what does it mean successful person. Okay, for these things let's go and talk to Dr. Payam Kade, and he's here, yeah, somewhere, yes, from Los Angeles. Hello. Oh my god, he's an amazing guy. Let's go. And hello and welcome, Dr. Kade.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. I
My
like your
pleasure.
shirt, very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I like your, tie that way you, so that's the way successful people, they wearing the
Dress up.
tie. Yeah, dress up like that. Yeah. So
I'm not sure
cool.
about that.
Cool.
Success means a lot of different things to many different people.
Okay, what is success?
Honestly, I don't really have a precise definition for it, and that's because, as we know, success in depends on the society you grow up in, depends on the cultural norms of the society, depends on your upbringing, depends on how your culture and your society and your country defines success, right?
Mm-hmm.
So success for some people could be getting to a goal. They find that to be they're successful when they get to their goal or their pursuit of their goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's about sometimes it's about achievements that they have. It's about for some people their social status. If they
Mm-hmm.
become a president of a company or president of a country or
Right.
what have you, right? For
Mm-hmm.
and to majority of us, it's about for us success means what we can show for our life.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go through life for 20, 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what we can show for it. And that showing does not necessarily mean the amount of money that we have accumulated or if you have a nice car or a mansion. It's very different for people.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it's about fulfillment in their heart. They have a balanced life,
Mm-hmm.
and that balance is basically based on their financials, based on their relationships, their emotional feelings. It's about their physical health. So when all of these things are balanced, to me, that's a successful person that has a balance between all of them and can basically go through all of these with a little bit more ease and don't put too much pressure on themselves or someone else. Because obviously we know a lot of successful people and step on other people to become successful. And I think the success that I'm trying to define, it does not mean that you're actually stepping on somebody else. It's about lifting someone else and bring them up. You become,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, far more successful when you bring more people into success,
Mm-hmm.
into the arena that you're in yourself, rather than just do this individually and succeed as a one person, rather than as a community, as a society, or as a country.
Okay, and what is the characteristic of the, successful people, successful person?
Obviously, there is not one or two certain characteristics, but in general,
Mm-hmm.
in psychology, the way we look at it is if that person is equipped with certain characteristics that they have developed throughout their life, mainly when they grow up, they develop certain characteristics, and obviously the society has helped them
Mm-hmm.
reach reach a certain point where they can actually rely on their own characteristics to either define success or get to that point. So, a majority of the people that are successful, they're positive thinkers, and they're creative. They don't necessarily think about whether I can take. It's more of what I can give, whether to
Mm-hmm.
myself or
Mm-hmm.
to the society. So a lot of the successful people, they're not really thinking about, they're not selfish, they're flexible. And I know that may seem a little crazy to some people. They're like, oh, successful people are selfish. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think people that are selfish are actually successful. I think they suffer more in their own selfishness. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's more about being flexible. They really know what they're looking for and what they want in life. they take responsibility for their own actions, and they're grateful for what they have achieved. They're not they don't regret anything. They move forward with what is next rather than what was past, and they don't dwell on the past too much. It's like it's about the next steps, right? So this is, I think, very important. They also, I think, they have a connection to their goal, meaning they don't just look at it as this is a goal. This is about me as an individual growing and becoming and evolving. So that brings them to success. And I know when I say this, a lot of people feel the success means I'm saying that they feel that way so they can get to money. That is not the case for everybody. Some people are looking at a great car and a great mansion, a lot of money in
Right.
their bank account, and say that is a sign of success. And of course, the society sort of perpetuates that's the case. But that is
Yeah,
really not
yeah,
the case for a lot of people.
yeah.
It's not about money. It's
They
about
are a
what I
winner.
feel. Right. It's for a lot of people, it's about how much influence I have on my surroundings, on my
Right.
society, how
Mm-hmm.
much I can influence other people to gather around me, and so we can all get to a point or reach a goal. Like
Mm-hmm.
some of the good politicians, for example,
Mm-hmm.
it's about us, all of us together, rather than just me getting to a point. So and willingness, and I think one of the main characteristic of a person who is successful is their ability to learn and evolve. So they don't necessarily say, I already know it all. They're eager to know more. They're
Mm-hmm.
eager to do more. They take responsibility for their own actions. They don't wait for other people to provide. They provide. They set the goals. They go after finding guidance from
Mm-hmm.
others to get to that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of it's a characteristic of a person who is who defines himself as I should create rather than somebody else should give it to me.
Amazing, amazing. And uh, what about uh, you know, unsuccessful person?
Majority of the people that are unsuccessful and again, to me, being unsuccessful also comes with being unhappy,
Mm-hmm.
because when you're unhappy, you don't have the motivation to become
Exactly,
successful.
exactly.
The motivation is not there, right? So you may be
Mm-hmm.
depressed, you may be sad, you may criticize everybody else in the world for your problems or issues that are around you. You don't necessarily take action. You're not looking for guidance from anybody. You see the goal as something that is so far-fetched. I'm not going to get to it. It's going to be too difficult, and oftentimes you criticize other people for it. So you have basically a constant negative feeling of what could have been, but it's not, right? So you don't take action for it. You criticize the world for it. You can't accept your own responsibility and your own part in this. You hold grudge against other people. So you have that kind of a feeling like, did my mom did that to me, or my father did that to me, the society did this to me. It's about my cousin who did that to me. You don't necessarily take personal responsibility for what you're supposed to create in your own life.
Right.
Um, their thinking is not based on what I can give. It's more of what I can take. So I call those unsuccessful people, not majority, but a group of them, more of a person that is a taker rather than a giver. They have uh, they have inability to change. So we know for you to reach success, oftentimes you fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Muhammad Ali said, it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you stand up.
Mm-hmm.
So for some people, when they fall, they think, oh, I'm never going to get to it. I'm not good enough. So they have a negative feeling or
Mm-hmm.
negative perception about themselves and the society that they're living in. They have fear of change. They rather keep the status quo. They rather stay in their comfort zone and don't risk anything or don't risk too much because they're afraid of what could happen next. And they don't really necessarily, and I'm not talking about all of them, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them actually don't work hard towards a goal.
Right.
They may know what they want, but they don't necessarily go after finding the guidance or the education that is required to get to that goal,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they don't take that next step. They're more a lot of them. I find a lot of those people to have a deep-rooted anger, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
rage in
Mm-hmm.
them. And that rage could be even towards themselves, could be towards their own parents, could be towards the society, like I've said before.
Right.
Um, they have a hard time to forgive. So when you hold a grudge, right, and you're constantly in fact checking everything and trying to see
Right.
who's looking at you, and you're so worried about who's going to criticize you for
Right.
what you're
Right.
doing,
Right. Right.
and who's going to criticize you for your failures, right?
Right.
Then you have a lot of anger and rage, and you have a hard time to forgive and forget and move on, right? And then with that comes a lot of excuses, like I said. And those excuses, basically, in my opinion, is the worst thing you can have, because those excuses fill your mind with a negative set of facts that are not necessarily true, but you have created them and made them to be facts. And
Right.
they those excuses keep you from getting there. For example, you may say, I'm 40 years old, I want to be a doctor, right? What is your first excuse? I'm too old for this. I don't want to do this. I don't have the money to go get the education, or whatever, what have you. And so a lot of people come up with excuses at different stage of their life that they
Right.
cannot reach a goal, and that they actually truly believe that excuse. Whereas a successful person necessarily may have some of those excuses, but they put them aside and they focus on their goal and what they can create and where they can go. They
Okay.
don't also drag other people down. Negative people, unsuccessful people, they tend to have tendency to drag other people down. For example, meaning if they see a successful person, they sometimes they associate them with cheating, lying, stealing, and that's not
Right.
necessarily true for all successful people, right?
Exactly.
They don't
Right.
necessarily have cheated, lied, but they do that so they can make themselves feel better and come up with an excuse why they have not achieved something. They constantly are in need of approval of other people. And that's part of the problem. They don't really even achieve a goal. And that is extremely important,
Right.
because when you're constantly afraid that, am I going to get approved on approval or not, you don't necessarily start anything, because you're thinking, okay, so if I start a PhD program, what if I fail in the middle? What other people are going to look at me as a failure. So I might as well not start, because that way nobody's going to criticize me. I haven't done anything, right? So I think that's a key factor in knowing that you don't really need anybody's approval. You just need to take action, move forward, focus on what steps you have to take. And I think the best way to do this is really stepping into the footsteps of other people who have actually succeeded, rather than going after and talking to people who have not, as
Yes.
Tony Robbins puts it.
Right. Right. Wow, super profound. You are amazing, Dr. Kate. You
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
know, you
No,
already answered my next two questions. And
what I shared was very basic. Really, there is really no set definition for success, because
yes, I
some
understand.
people might think, some people truly believe my success to me means my relationships with my friends, with my family, and with the people that are around, right? A lot of other people think success for me is about my physical health, how much I can take care of myself and keep myself healthy. And so there is a different way of looking at things. I just gave certain characteristics that could actually result in a greater success if you're
Yes.
going to, if you're trying to meet a goal, right? So you need to equip yourself with
Right.
a lot of positive thinking rather than negative thinking. Don't hold grudge. Let go of what has happened in the past. You're here, and you're here right now. This is the time you need to make the decision for your next step. And
Yeah.
footsteps of other people can help you move forward faster and hopefully in a better direction.
And now is we are in the quarantine time, and I believe it's very good time to thinking deeper and deeper about these things. You need be happy to have a motivation to working hard with the making a good goal and create a good goal to be a successful. And
And I think your goal
unfortunately,
has to be reasonable.
yes, exactly, thank you, it's very important, that things that's a
Yes,
very
because I think
important.
if
Yeah.
because if I say to myself I'm going to be a great basketball player and I want to join the NBA, well, I'm 52 years old and I'm only 5'3". Am I going to be able to join the NBA? It's going to be pretty unlikely for me to be able to succeed.
I
So
understand.
it has to be within reason. But if someone else, only even one other person has actually done it, then you can too.
But you
So
like basketball.
I love basketball. I
I
love
know. I,
watching
I
it and
saw I
maybe
saw
play with
all
my
the time
friends.
your yeah, I saw all the time your if you're posting something about the sport is about basketball.
It's about basketball and football for me. It's so much. I'm so much into it. Yes,
Which
but I
kind of
watch it. I
foot
don't play it.
which kind of football? American
American
football?
football. Yes,
Okay,
I'm very much
amazing.
into it. Yes, I'm a
Okay,
big
very
fan.
good. Very good. So, and last question. Because lots of people they're confused between successful and they showing someone he's successful, but when I look at that person, as you said, is not happy, lots of anger, aggression, lots of negative things. I said that person is just winner in the business.
Right. I think when you for example, I think we spoke about this example before.
Yes.
Just one of the examples.
Maybe last month or maybe 2 months
Right.
ago, yeah.
One of the examples, for example, that people pretty much know is
Hmm.
Robin Williams, right?
Right.
Look at Robin Williams. He was one of the most successful artists that has ever existed. He was brilliant. He was
Hmm.
extremely funny. He was very talented. People loved to look at him, see
Hmm.
him, see his every show. He was very successful. He had a lot of money. Supposedly, he had a very good marriage, but deep inside, he had a lot of psychological issues that he was dwelling on, and he was not able to get himself out of that hole, right? So at the end, what did he do? He killed himself. Now, if somebody would look at his life and would fact check what success means, they would say, well, he has the biggest house probably in the area he lives in. He
Hmm.
has the best car in the world. Everybody around the world knows him. He's extremely successful. Was that really a success? Not for him. It was probably to the eyes of other people, but not to him. That's why I always say success to me is when you feel balanced between your finances, your emotions, your relationships, and your physical health. That's where you find within that balance, you find yourself feeling successful because every part of your life you look at, of course, you could improve more in one area? Absolutely, no doubt about it. But when you look at it in a totality, you see and you compare yourself because we live in a physical world. We always compare ourselves to others. If somebody tells me I never compare myself to somebody else, I wouldn't believe them. Does not mean that they're constantly doing that. It just means that they look at the society and they think, wow, where I'm at, I'm pretty successful. I'm doing pretty good.
Right. Amazing. Very good. So it was amazing. I'm so
Thank you.
happy because you said like a 2 or 3 hours seminar in the 15 minutes. You said everything,
Mhm.
and it's very good. Thank you so much. And
My
people
pleasure.
can find you on social media, Dr. Payam Kate. And could you please just do you want to announce your phone number if some people wants to call you?
Sure, if they
Because
want to
you have
call
your
me,
phone number in your Instagram.
yes, I do. They
Okay.
can they can call me 310-709-1102
Okay.
for questions,
And
concerns, or anything.
yes, and next time we can put your number because you didn't give me a permission to put your number. But
It is.
I figure out, you have your phone number in your Instagram, and
Thank you.
if people need help, they can call you, and you're
I
amazing.
appreciate it. Truthfully, I'm only here for maybe the public service, even if a couple of the words can reach someone and can make an impact, make a difference in their life, that would be good enough for me.
Amazing, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
weekend. Thank you.
You too. I appreciate the time you gave me.
Thank you.
Have
My
a wonderful
pleasure.
evening.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye.
Vida. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Good night.
So good night.
Bye bye.
So I invite you. Uh, Check this video again because we put this video on Instagram. We put this video in archive and just listen the last minute, just last 2 minutes, and then back from start a video and watch again. Maybe it's helpful for you. Maybe it's helpful for other people. Just send it to your friends. Yeah, send this video to your friends and family if you care about them. Amazing, amazing. I really enjoy it, and very, very good. Now, in next segment, we are going to have more music, international music, and I have a surprise for you. Stay tuned with me and tell your friends to come to Togetherness Media. Download our app for free. And I just heard from our marketing department this month, gonna be last month, we have free downloads. We're doing free public service, but obviously we need more support. We have a donation button. You can click on donation, and even $10, $5, $1 per month, anything. It's you're comfortable. We appreciate, and thank you. So let's go and come back in next segment with a surprise. Yes, we have a surprise.
Raise your vibration and re engage with life. Find balance and reconnect with joy. Your vehicle is balancing the wheel, and we're here to support you in becoming more happier, healthier, and successful. wheelofwellbeing.com or drsadiq.com.
Do you have viruses or malware warnings? Have a problem with your computer and need help? 24 hours, 7 days. Computer Emergency Services. Convenience and savings at your fingertips. Download our free app and keep in touch.